Okay, so now we are going to expand the if function by combining it with other conditional functions. So the first function that we are going to combine with the if function is the AND function. And let's see what Excel defines the AND function as. So if I type in AND, and this function checks whether all arguments are true and returns true if all arguments are true. So basically, in the previous video, when we just used the if function by itself, we could only test one condition. But combining it with the AND function, we can test multiple conditions. And if all the conditions are true, then we will return a true value. But if one of those conditions is false, let's say one of them's true but another one is false, then this function will return a false value. So to get a better understanding, let's put it to action and see what happens to our results. So I'm going to delete this. Now this time, instead of going into the function arguments window, I'm just going to type the formula straight into the formula bar. So first, we have to start off with the if function. So we can type in equals if, then open parentheses. And our first argument is bold, which is the logical test. Well, this time, instead of testing one condition, we want to test multiple conditions. So for this example, we have score 1 and score 2. And our goal is to see if the person passed both tests. So if the person passed both tests, then we want our value to say pass. But if a person failed either one of the tests, we want our result to come out as fail. So let's see how that looks in our formula. So for the logical test, we are wanting to test multiple conditions. So this is where we will place the AND function. Then add another open parentheses. And you can see that our first argument is bold, and it's asking for the first logical condition. So the first condition that we want to test is to see if that person has a higher score than 65 for score 1. So we can use a cell reference and select the first score, and then we can type in greater than 65. So that's the first test. And then if we type in a comma, now we can put another condition inside the AND function to test. And for our second condition, we want to see if this person got a higher score than 65 for score 2. So we can select score 2 and then type in greater than 65. And since those are the only two conditions we are going to test, we could put a close parentheses and close out the AND function. So if we put a comma, now we're back inside the if function, and the argument that the if function is asking now is what value we want to return if both of our conditions are true. So we can do the same as before, open quotes, pass, comma. Now the if function is asking for the false argument, and we can put fail. And then close the parentheses. So let's click enter and see what we get. Well, our formula returned pass. Because the way this formula reads, if score 1 is above 65, which it is, and if score 2 is above 65, which it is again, return pass. Because both of these conditions are true. Now let's double click the fill handle and see what we get for these other people. Alright, so for Megan, we got fail. While on score 1, she got a 76, which is above 65. But on score 2, she got a 63, which is below 65. And remember, the AND function, both of the conditions have to be true in order to return the true value. So that's how we can combine the if and function together.